that is where your true power lies. And so for me, the more I learn about the complexity of the ET phenomenon, the more that encourages me to go within to establish that spiritual connection to the cosmos, because I know that's where my power is, and I know that is how I will be ultimately able to deal with this extraterrestrial phenomenon in a way where I remain sane, empowered, and balanced.
So would you say, and I think this is a double question, not double from an attention background, but a double question to be answered actually, would you say that A, we are multidimensional beings in itself as humans, and B, that there are also multidimensional beings on a non-physical etheric level? So, and is that even related to what some might call our higher self? Do we have a connection we don't even really understand, or is it just a separate consciousness and a separate being from a separate planet and a separate galaxy? Or might it be connected to our higher selves, or maybe even a future mankind, or whatever? Can you comment on that?
Yes, I would agree more with the latter, that we are multidimensional beings with different aspects of our self being located on different planes. And, whether we can talk about the higher self, whether we can talk about the Buddhic self, the soul, all of these concepts are really relevant, I believe, to different aspects of who we are. And it really is up to us to be able to connect with these different aspects of who we are and unify our consciousness so that, as multidimensional beings, that we don't operate in terms of our surface life on planet Earth as a kind of separated, vulnerable, kind of impotent being, that we actually unify our consciousness so that we then become able to draw on the different aspects of who we are so that we can live life on planet Earth as fully empowered beings connected to our different aspects of selfhood and with the greater cosmos, so then we can actually convert the Earth or transform the Earth into a paradise, into something really wonderful to live on. Because if we don't connect with our higher self and all our different aspects, I think what we're going to have is a surface or culture or civilization which is going to be very weak, divided, and easily manipulated by these different beings from different parts of the galaxy.
Okay, a question that comes to mind directly is, and of course the answer might be, but I want to look at a different answer, if we can, from me and also from your perspective. The answer might be to the question I'm going to ask, that of course it's our spiritual path and it's the lessons we have to learn and we have to return to God or return to oneness. But if I wouldn't look at this question so spiritually, the logical question would be, how come we don't have universal and cosmic peace and cosmic attunement to all those ETs already? Where did this division come about? Or the frequency gating, or maybe the power structures which kept things secret? But how was this in the past, and why is this a future thing for humanity? Why aren't we living, and haven't we been living for centuries as a human species with all those ETs in the first place?
Oh, that's an excellent question, John. I think it's a very profound and deep question, is that, why is it that our culture, our civilization is so deeply divided and conflictual, and why is it that the galaxy seems to mirror this? I think that's a kind of really important question. I think it brings in a lot of metaphysics. It brings in a lot of issues about, was there such a thing as a kind of Luciferian rebellion or some sort of early cosmic falling in consciousness, and that we on the planet Earth have been kind of like given this mission to just kind of like live out the kind of deep conflicts and divisions that exist at the macro level. I think those are very profound questions, and I think that is very encouraging in terms of, well, if we can resolve our conflicts on the Earth and achieve a higher level of consciousness, coherence and harmony as a planetary civilization, that maybe that will actually inspire the rest of the galaxy to do something similar. And so that way the macro can learn from the micro. So we on the planet Earth, even though things seem to be very chaotic, we actually have a very special mission. And if we can really resolve the profound divisions and conflicts on our planet Earth, this may actually herald a new age, not only for our planet, but also for the galaxy, and in fact beyond the galaxy into the cosmos.
So I've seen this movie Avatar, and a lot of people have, of course, as you know, and probably you will also. If I look at this movie, I see some beautiful elements in there, not just visually, but also as a spiritual message. But that relates to universal consciousness and the connection with the global connection and the interconnectedness. But of course, you also see war. You also see humanity struggling against the ETs, which even are benevolent in one way. But of course, they will defend themselves, because most organisms that are alive, how loving they are, will defend themselves when threatened. So that's an important concept, of course, to realize. Another concept is that the universe was helping out while normally being neutral, as if there's a limit to being neutral and to choose sides all of a sudden. But this whole movie told me about the possibility of interconnectedness. But then again, there's always the possibility, let's say it very cautiously, of subconscious or even conscious elements of manipulation or mind control coming from the Hollywood scene. And I'm not saying it is, but there's always this possibility, as you and I both know. And of course, at the end, there was this remark of this one leader, so to speak, and people listened to him, and all things came about. And that gave me negative goosebumps all over, because I thought, here he is again, the new Messiah, or if it's Obama or an Antichrist or whatever. I'm not drawing any conclusions from this, but just this general feeling that there is this one master we have to follow before being subjected to interconnectedness. Well, I think it's the interconnection of souls and human beings on a general level, not without politics, but not without one centralized organization or spirituality or world religion or even a certain belief system. Can you comment on that relating to the movie Avatar?
Yes, I think Avatar is such an incredible movie with so many archetypes in it. And I think the director, James Cameron, is one of those very rare individuals and Hollywood producers that actually does genuinely produce movies that do raise consciousness. I don't think James Cameron, judging from his movies, is someone that actually is part of the kind of Hollywood elite that is part of this program to try and condition humanity to think in a certain way so that we can be more manipulated. I think he's one of the very, very few Hollywood producers that does actually help raise consciousness through his movies. In the movies, the two movies that I'm thinking of here one is The Abyss, and I think this movie as well, Avatar, with so many archetypes in there that I think do herald this new era of empowered humanity, where we are one with the cosmos. We achieve a kind of unity consciousness, and because of that, we become very powerful, and we are able to remove literally from our planetary culture these very disruptive corporate capitalist forces that are reliant on kind of manipulation and domination. And I think that is very exciting, because I think it does signify that as a planetary culture, we are awakening to this possibility. Now, whether that possibility happens or not, that's really up to us. But I think, the Avatar, the movie, I think its job was to kind of raise this possibility into the consciousness of the people, so that, they can understand that, yes, there is a possibility that we can live a life where we are empowered, where we are at one with nature, and we have all of these incredible abilities. I think that's really what the movie achieves. But the next step is up to us.
It's always our responsibility in the end, yes. In the meantime, I did almost want to interrupt you, because I was jokingly wanted to ask you, was that just a mothership above your head? I heard a big sound coming from your end, but I guess there was a plane, right? If not, please tell us.
Right. I missed that. Whatever it was, it maybe it was.
I could hear it. It wasn't from my end. So my microphone was closed. So no. And of course, I'm also joking because if you can comment on that, if you don't, that's fine. But you personally emailed me that you just got back from Mexico, I believe.